Yo, Dragon Ballers, real quick before we get into the video, make sure to check out our new sponsor, Dex Protection, down in the description below. Make sure to use them for all your card gaming protection needs, whether you need sleeves, whether you need binders, whether you need deck boxes, make sure to use them. I'm going to walk you guys through real quick. You have the product drop-down menu here. Let's say I want to go grab some sleeves. It brings you to the sleeve page. And then you have our regular sleeves, because we're not Yu-Gi-Oh! We don't use mini sleeves, we use real size sleeves. So we click on that. We go to buy now. We have our option of all the different colors. I think Dex Protection sleeves are super high quality. I use them. I use their binders to keep my collection. So guys, make sure to check them out in the description. Let's get into the video. Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another discussion video. In today's video, we're going over some of the red spoilers that were dropped yesterday for Vermilion Bloodline Set 11 coming out September 25th. So in today's video, we're talking about a few of those cards, specifically the Gogeta cards. And I do just want to mention really quickly that I think it's pretty soon for Bandai to have spoiled these cards. Like, I know they want to keep, the player base interested and show off some really cool spoilers and whatnot, but, considering we just got Anniversary Box yesterday, I think it's a little soon to be showing these spoilers because, what happens is people get the cards, they play with them on Untap, Octagon, they start to test them out, they get a feel for what's strong, what's weak, and it kind of dims some of the excitement of when you open the set, right? You open the set and you kind of already know what's good, you kind of already know what's the most powerful, or at least close to the most powerful. So I do think these spoilers are a little bit soon. I mean, this set comes out realistically in 2 months, so it's not coming out too soon in terms of release, in my opinion, because there's no product really in between that time. But I think the spoilers here are a little bit soon. But that being said, I mean, it's only the red stuff, and it's not even all the red stuff, so I guess let's talk about it. But first, guys, if you are new here, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss a video. If you want to help the channel out, there are many ways to do that down in the description. Check out the Patreon, the Gemmy app, before your one-on-one coaching, as well as your crossflow competitive articles. Check out the merch store for the fresh crossflow t-shirts and whatnot. Check out the Dex Protection link if you need deck boxes, sleeves, binders, that kind of stuff. And finally, guys, use my link to TCG Player if you want to buy or pre-order anything for Dragon Ball Super. That being said, let's get started with this Gogeta leader. Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, Prophet of Demise, double strike, auto when this card attacks, draw 1. Then this card gets plus 5,000 power for the battle. Auto once per turn when you activate a union skill, draw 1. So there's not too much on the leader, but he is very powerful, just, as simple as he is. Draw, gain 5k, activate union, draw an additional card, and double strike. That's pretty beefy. Now let's read the unawakened side. We have Gogeta. When this card attacks, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, so you have the option to self-awaken. Look up 7 cards on top of your deck, add up to 1 red extra card with an energy cost of 1 among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So right here, this is a very different type of leader than we're used to seeing. I mean, it kind of resembles Frieza Prison in a way, but this one has to attack, this one has the option to self-awaken, and he only adds extra cards of energy cost of 1. So off the top of my head, there's like Wolfang Fist, there's After Image, there's certain cards like that, there's Beerus Ball, for example, like red extra cards you'll add like that. There is one for the archetype, though, that we'll talk about in a second. Auto once per turn when you activate union skill, draw 1, and then awaken at 4 or less, untap 2 energy, and flip over. So the leader does look pretty good. We have a Goku and a Vegeta skillless. So this, they talked about it in the designer notes. They talked about how this new Gogeta deck is going to kind of revolve around these skillless Gokus and Vegetas, and we'll see in a few seconds there's an extra card that also has to do with that. So SSB Gogeta Technique Unchained, we have a 6-drop 35k. He is a double striker, EX evolved for 0 energy over a mono red Gogeta BR with an energy cost of 5. Permanent, this card cannot be KO'd, just like the old Gogeta we remember from, I think it was set 5 or 6. I think it was set 6. Auto, when a card evolves into this card, choose up to 1 of your red unison cards, add 2 markers to it, and you can't play battle cards for the turn. Okay, so here's the thing. You evolve into him for free, so 0 energy investment. You probably have to invest energy into the 5-drop that goes under him. And then when he evolves, you give your unison 2 markers, and you can't play battle cards for the turn. So you're not allowed to continue to play battle cards. Let's say you spent 0 energy to get him out. You can't continue to span the board of battle cards, but you do give a unison 2 markers. So that's pretty important. So the red unisons we know about, we have the blue Vegito, which has a pretty powerful -2 and -5 effect. We have Sin Shenron, which has another really powerful -2 effect. And we have the red Vegeta Unison, which you don't really want to minus him too much. We have the Gotenks Unison of Rage with another powerful minus effect. So loading these Unisons up with markers and basically giving yourself more wiggle room to use their minus effects. That's very, very good. Now, I will spoil this here. We haven't seen what the red unisons are, if any, that are coming out in set 11. I mean, I have to imagine that they are. Now, this could go one of two ways, and I was talking about this with a friend of mine. If, you know, you have this card that's basically spamming markers onto a unison, they could either be a really powerful unison that can't generate markers on its own. So let's say it only has a -1 or only has a -2 effect, and it doesn't have any way to increase its markers, then this Gogeta would be the way you're putting markers on it. Otherwise, it's a unison they really just like don't want you to be able to remove, so they just want it to have a ton of markers, and they don't want your opponent to be able to remove it easily. So that's one of the two things there. But let's read the rest of the auto. When this card or one of your opponent's cards attacks, you may choose one of your opponent's cards, and it gets -20,000 power for the battle. If you do, negate this skill for the turn. So that's pretty nice that it triggers on unison attacks, leader attacks, battle card attacks, all that good stuff. So I do want you to know there is a 5-drop red Gogeta Br. I think it's from the dash pack of set 6 or maybe set 7 that this can actually evolve on top of. So there's another target for this. I think we'll see a target in just a second. But the target I'm talking about, I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it is a 5-drop Gogeta Br red. It union fusions for 3 red. You play it, you look at your opponent's hand, and I believe you snipe a battle card. So that's not bad at all. Getting into this for 3 energy, that's pretty good. But let's see how they intend for us to get into it. So Gogeta Fusion of the Gods. We have a 5-drop 20k deflect, another union fusion for 3 energy, so kind of what I was just talking about. But this one actually draws you 2 cards, so that's quite good. Permanent, this card can't be KO'd, and it has deflect, so your opponent can't like Trunks counterplay it. They can't Prideful Transformation counterplay it. Auto, if your leader card's red, when this card is played, choose one of your red unison cards, add a marker to it, then choose all your opponent's battle cards to get -15,000 power for the turn. Okay, that's pretty good. So again, we're adding markers to unisons. When it comes down, deflect -15k. That's potentially a board wipe. Like, you know, imagine playing this into a field of Obuni. First of all, your opponent cannot Trunks counterplay it. They can Trunks counterplay the 6-drop, but I mean, that's a 0 energy investment, so that's pretty much fine. You just replay it. Anyways, you play this, they can't Trunks it. You kill all their Obuni tokens. You put Obuni to 5k. If that Obuni's in rest mode, let's say, you can swing into it. So that seems to be just really good against blue in general, but overall, it seems to be a very powerful card. Next up, Birth of a Super Warrior. We have a 1-drop extra card, red, activate main. If your leader card is a red Gogeta Br, choose one. Either play or add to your hand up to 1 skillless Goku with energy cost of 1 and 1 skillless Vegeta with energy cost of 1 from your deck, then shuffle your deck. The other effect is play or add to your hand up to 1 skillless Goku and 1 skillless Vegeta with energy costs of 1 from your drop area. So basically, you pick 2 up out of the drop area, or you pick 2 up out of your deck, and this is a 1-drop red extra card, so our Gogeta leader can search this. Keep that in mind. So this card's cool. I mean, I think it's kind of funny how it gives you the ability to actually play the skillless guys. I don't think there's any way to really get them back to your hand, but maybe if you really just wanted to be aggressive, you could play 2 1-drop 10ks. And actually, what's funny is you could play this in a red Gogeta Br, and you could bring out the Goku and the Vegeta. You could actually Union Patora if that, you know, was applicable. If there's a good Vegito to go into, that's just something to keep in mind. You do have to be a Gogeta Br for this card, so you can't play this in like red Vegito, for example. But actually, everything I just said makes no sense because these are Goku and Vegeta Brs, so that actually doesn't work. Sorry guys, I just realized that. Alright guys, so that seems to be everything for the Gogeta stuff we have at the moment. The rest of it is Broly stuff, and I do want to go over that in its own video because we're seeing the return of Swap that, you know, can definitely be problematic in and of itself if it's not balanced correctly, but we'll read that when it gets to it. We'll see if it's balanced, we'll see if it's, you know, overpowered, we'll see if it's bad, all that good stuff. We will get into that. So guys, I think there's definitely gonna be some more support for this deck. I don't really think that only 5 or 6 cards is gonna make up the entire Gogeta engine. What do you think in the comments below? Let me know. What do you think they're gonna add to this archetype? Do you think they're gonna add more extra cards to search out? I mean, if we think about the targets at the moment, we talked about a few of them. After Image, Wolfang Fist, is that all you got? There are definitely other good targets to get with this, but do you think they'll add other ones for this deck? And then if they do, does that mean that it's going to be one of those extra card heavy decks, and can that present problems in and of itself? I do kind of think so. I mean, this card is a 1 energy plus 1, basically, you know, adding 1 total hand size to your hand after you use it. So that is definitely quite good. I think it'll give us some more Gogeta stuff though, and it's actually really interesting to see how this actually meshes with the old Gogeta stuff. So keep in mind, the old Gogeta chain, I believe it's a 6-drop into an 8-drop. You can easily play that stuff in this deck. So if that stuff is applicable, if it's good in the format, you can easily play that stuff. So keep that in mind. This should be pretty exciting for those of you guys that are big fans of Gogeta and Goku and Vegeta BR. So, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about the support. I will see you guys next time.
Alright, now that you guys finished watching that video, they should have never banned fucking Child's Wish. They shouldn't. Super Shadow was the best deck in the game. Super Shadow was the best!